From the ancient time, wedding is among the most sacred and meaningful days of one's life. On this special day, the groom will come to the bride's house along with a lot of valuable wedding presents. Standing in front of the ancestor altar, the new couple prays and wishes for a prosperous forward before they become a new family and live happily forever after.
Wait, hang on. This is a traditional wedding in Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
I wonder what would it be in other countries?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
I've been up all night, no sleep, 'cause I feel like I'm always dreaming all night, no sleep, 'cause I feel like I'm always dreaming.
Yes, the weather is nice, so it's such a great day like day. I like this.
How about we go find out the wedding ceremony and the marriage breakfast in Orange Country?
Yes, good. Let's conduct it.
Sounds good. Go. How was your first impression about Vietnamese wedding?
Different. So in UK, all the pictures are taken on the day,
On the day.
but in Vietnam, you go away pre-wedding and have photos. So my wife had 5 dresses, got changed 5 times, and I had one like suit, and we spent all day there. And 1,000 pictures later, because Vietnamese people like a good picture. Why are you laughing? You do.
Yes.
You all like
Yes, they're
pictures,
right.
pictures,
Yes.
pictures. So yes, so we had pre-wedding photos, which was really good. So the church is where they go for the ceremony. So that is where they formally, legally get married in the church, and then they will go away to a separate place and have a reception and have a big meal. They have speeches, people bring presents for the bride and groom, big cake, and then they have like a disco, a bit like your karaoke, but yeah. So
And the day to celebrate is usually decided by whom?
It's the wedding day.
well, it's normally a Saturday, but who decides is the bride and groom will have a discussion. Then they will then try and find the church that they. So normally it's in the area where the bride lives. So if the bride lives in this certain area, then the church can marry there. So it's just speaking to the church then and finding a date that's fitted around. So say I wanted to get married in July, then I would go to the church and say, right, have you got a date for in July? And if they say no, then we'll go to August, or you know.
But usually it's 2 years in advance because it's so expensive.
2 years.
Yeah.
Around
Yeah.
everything around £30,000.
Which is 1 billion. So you're talking for a wedding in the UK, you're talking
Yeah.
about £1 billion.
Yeah. And the bride's father pays
Easy.
everything.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is expensive.
Yes.
Yeah. Like if you think the reception, so where they go and eat and drink, you know, you're talking if you have 200-300 guests, you know, that's a lot of money to
Yeah.
spend on the hall itself.
And then maybe
could pay
£15 each person.
Yeah.
£15, £20.
the venue,
Per head.
a nice place. You could spend between £3,000 to £5,000 on just a nice
A nice
venue.
place. And in England, the bride, she has to wear something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. So something old, maybe she will borrow something from a mother or a grandmother. something new, or maybe she will buy something special, or even the dress is new. Something else, something borrowed. So you have to borrow maybe earrings, necklace, you will borrow, and then something blue. Usually it's garter on your leg, and you make this blue.
Yeah.
And in England, tradition, you can only wear white if you're a virgin.
Yes.
No virgin, no white.
So, and same if you get remarried. So that's why there's a lot of ivory dresses. They're not white. They're ivory coloured. So cream coloured.
It's because no
So,
virgin. And the veil, the bride, when she's going down the aisle, she will cover her face. But when she gets to her husband, she has to take it off, so he can make sure it's... Because in the olden days, they used to say, here's my beautiful daughter, and then they will take the ugly daughter, cover her, marry, and then lift it up, and it's the ugly sister, not the beautiful one. So that is also a tradition. When you get to the altar, you must show your husband it's you.
So also when you do like when you meet for the first time, so in a tradition in Vietnam you have like tea ceremony and the presents.
Yes.
So see I know. So we don't really do that. However, the father, because that tradition is giving away the bride, the father will give away the bride on the day. So in the church, they'll walk down the aisle, and then the vicar will say, "Do you
Who gives this woman?"
Who gives this woman?"
And the father gives the woman to the man.
To the man then.
And then the
so.
father steps back and sits down.
Also in the ceremony, the groom will have a best man, and he will take care of the wedding rings and everything, and he does speeches. So he keeps hold of the rings. So then he looks after the day for the bride and groom. He's in charge of the day really. So and then the bride will have what they call a chief bridesmaid, and she looks after all the side for the bride and things like that. So.
Oh, and the bride's father, he pays everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bride's father.
Yeah.
Everything.
So basically, the groom will probably pay for the church and for the rings and maybe the bridesmaids' dresses and the presents, because you give presents to the best man and the chief bridesmaid. So the groom may take care of that, but everything else traditionally is taken care by the bride's father, and he pays for everything.
And just before the wedding in England, we have a hen party. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So all the
men,
girls.
And the men have stag party.
So all the girls go out and have a big final drinking session,
Only
and
girls,
the men,
no men.
and the men have a stag party and go away, and it's only men, and they go drinking. So that's their final thing before they come together and get married.
And that one is big tradition. Still today, everybody.
Special, it's more like you do vows, so you have a set tradition where you will say vows together. So when you give a ring, it'll be a special. The priest will say the words, and you say "I marry you" type thing, for better for worse. And lastly, halfway through the ceremony, the vicar or the priest will say, "Anybody think of anything why these two people cannot marry, then you have to say." So he has to legally say,
Speak now
Speak
or
now.
forever hold your peace.
yeah. So speak now or forever hold your peace. And if there's silence, then he carries on with the wedding. If someone was to say something, hey, then the wedding would probably stop.
Yeah, the Polish tradition is that you actually, instead of fathers taking you to church, you both going together to church, and then you've got the wedding ceremony, and after that the parents greet you in a reception with bread
And salt.
and vodka.
Vodka. Well, just with the just because in Poland it's most of the Polish people, the Roman Catholics, just the
and that was like in history always in church. But these days, like a lot of younger people, they don't go to church, and then you can have wedding like in America. You can have it in your garden, in your house, but you need like a registered wedding celebrant, because they have to give you paperwork that you married. Yeah, and they registered in the government, just to give you a stamp, you're officially married.
Both.
Both. Yeah, in Poland is both sides. So just
They have to discuss.
yeah, they like just it's not like some countries like the marriage are arranged. Like just the parents go and ask for the daughter. In Poland, like just young people, just even like in our age, like just the people just meet somewhere like in cafe.
Fell in love.
And if they fell in love, they decide to get married. And then there is a big wedding. Well, depends, some big weddings there, but then and it goes till morning. Like just once the party starts, like finish 5 o'clock in the morning.
Or sometimes takes 3 days.
Sometimes takes 3 days. Then it's got a bit of break, and the next day is again, but it's smaller, less like just people. It's just always, since we've been little, like just always very Western traditional. The bride got a white long dress, just
not necessarily.
No, this days
long.
not, but in old days, so just very long. But now they can go shorter. For the men, it's just suit, like just white shirt, like this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just.
But it is part of Poland when they very traditional. For example, south part of
Highlanders,
Poland,
like in the mountains. Like,
in the mountains,
Yeah.
people wear traditional dress, which is very colorful. Lots of flowers, red color, white color. So and the men wear special hat with the decoration on. So, but that's only one part of Poland.
But most of the countries,
Yeah.
like just wherever you go, is the same.
Yes.
The same pattern, like this.
Yes.
So in different area of Poland, there will be different.
Only one
No,
area.
only one in the mountains, like just what they call Highlanders. The people are just living high up in the mountains. Like just they've got like a bit different tradition, and just they dress differently. But every day they dress the same. But just for the weddings, they wear the traditional clothes, like just.
But the rest of the Poland is very
But the
traditional.
universal, the same everywhere.
Well, one custom is that the bride throw off her hat, hat, like
Hat?
yeah, and the woman who first catch it will be married like next year or in the nearest future.
Probably nowadays.
In old days, like just just very practical things, like just it would be ironing, like just the iron kettle to boil water, like just
nice vase,
just or furniture, plates, like cups, like glasses, like. But now it's just money, like just
Nowadays it's money.
Yeah. You just give them like an envelope with the money, and
With the cards.
they can buy what they want, because otherwise, like just you finish. 10 people bring the kettles, like just just how many you need, only one.
Yes.
And just these days it's money, just everyone cash, money.
So we are getting married next year in April. So now we're really into all these topics. So there are different kinds of weddings in Germany. So the first official one is the government wedding, so you have to do it before you do something else, and you can do it like the own wedding, so with the wedding dress and the white wedding dress and everything, but you can also do it just a smaller thing, and then you can do the wedding in the church with the dress, and that's the bigger party, with all the guests, and I think that's 2 options you have.
Yes, there are 2 steps. The first step is you have to go to the government, and you have to sign in front of the government that you want to stay your whole life together. And that's like a contract, because the contract means you take care of your partner, and he also has to take care of you the whole life. That means as long as you are married, not longer. So, because The experience is nearly 50% of people who get married sometime, they get also divorced. So it's not very common to stay the whole life together. And the second step, not all people do this second step, but maybe 50%, they go to church. It's not formal, just a symbol of to stay together and enjoy your life together.
So I think only the white dress, but you can also see them here. We saw some shops there. Yeah, I think that's all. But they're nothing special. So this is typical in smaller cities in Germany. So if you're in a small village and you know all the people living there, and then you have to do it. It's called Polterabend. Polterabend. Yeah, and then you bring old dish and you throw it somewhere. We were 2 or 3 weeks back. One of our friends had a Polterabend. It was really fun. So you don't have to bring dish, but you can also bring like the toilets and the washing basin. So it was really funny.
Really?
Yeah.
A toilet?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so interesting.
I can show you a video if you want to see it. It was really fun. Can you see it? They have 2 of these to hold together. Do you see this?
Yeah.
So tired. Hey Chang, prepare for a surprise trip? No time to waste, let's go!
Chào mấy bạn, bây giờ bọn mình đang có mặt ở huyện Krongpa, tỉnh Gia Lai, ghé thăm gia đình bạn Nay Cương.
Nay Cương là bạn cũ của tụi mình và hôm nay tụi mình đến đây để tìm hiểu về tục cưới của người dân tộc Gia Rai. Chào Nay Cương. Bây giờ tụi mình dẫn các bạn lên nhà của Nay Cương nha.
Theo tụi mình nhé. Bây giờ bọn mình đang có mặt tại nhà Nay Cương và giới thiệu với các bạn đây là già làng, đây là cha của Cương, đây là Cương. Mình sẽ cùng hiểu sâu hơn về lễ cưới, các tập tục về cưới xin của dân tộc Gia Rai.
Chúng mình giống nhau, nhưng cái là đáp hỏi thì gái qua nhà trai hỏi, rồi cưới thì cưới ở nhà gái.
Tức là nhà gái sẽ qua hỏi cưới nhà trai. Nếu mà nhà trai đồng ý thì hôm sau nhà trai sẽ đi qua nhà gái tổ chức lễ cưới.
Đúng rồi.
Vậy thì sính vật sẽ là do nhà gái.
Cưới đã cưới là cưới rồi đó, rồi sau đó 3 ngày 3 đêm là lên nhà chồng nữa, lên nhà chồng mang cơm mang gà, kiểu là đi ăn ở với nhà chồng chỉ cái trong ngày đó, sau đó rước chồng về ở với người gái. Như thế đấy.
Lúc đầu thì ở chung, còn nếu mà cảm thấy
Vẫn
Thế thì lâu đó tao thao đảo này để tao đảo.
thì này đáo này.
Chung là hồi xưa là
Vừa lùi trai thì vô để trình mà ta. Tìm lùi trai để cho trình.
Vẫn thờ thần
thần
trời đấy.
xưa,
Thời xưa đấy.
trời thần đất này nọ.
Thế bây giờ theo Tân giáo bây giờ vẫn Đức Chúa Giêsu.
Ra thì là kiểu mà giống như là làm cúng thì để cầu trời đất, nói chung là thần trời
Phù hộ cho may mắn hay là giàu có,
Cho đôi vợ chồng.
cho vợ chồng hạnh phúc.
Cho vợ chồng vâng.
sức khỏe này nọ.
Ví dụ là bây giờ một bên là phải vợ là theo Thiên Chúa nha, Chúa giáo nha, chồng thì theo Tin Lành, ví dụ thế. Hai vợ chồng nó chọn.
Ông già ông sẽ cho con cắt ngang xíu, ý là nếu mà bên vợ không đạo gì đấy ạ. Ý là bên vợ hoặc bên trai mà không đạo gì, còn
vợ thì theo đạo. Thì
không đạo với theo đạo này.
Nó vẫn hai vợ chồng nó tự chọn thôi.
Còn mua việc còn việc mua.
Thiếu quên là phải trao cái vòng nữa.
Khi làm lễ cưới là mình phải trao vòng đúng không?
Nếu mà nhận cưới là cái đó thì lúc mà đám hỏi nhà gái mà qua nhà trai để hỏi là mang theo cái vòng
để cho
bên nhà trai mà nhận lời đám hỏi thì sẽ nhận cái vòng đấy.
Bên trai là phải mặc áo đấy, áo truyền thống đấy, cái mặc khố nữa, đeo khố đấy. Gái là phải mặc cái yên đồng bào đấy, yên áo đồng bào đấy.
Dù là vợ là cái tai, chồng là cái chân, hay là đối ngược lại á, như kiểu một chung chắc là dù chồng sai hay là vợ sai, hay là đúng hay sai ngược nhau á, nhưng mà vẫn cố gắng để hai bên cùng nhau thì hòa giải này nọ để cùng nhau sinh sống cùng trong đó tốt với nhau rồi.
Mừng có thuộc bên này có nó
ông chung là ông
mẹ thôn
lấy vợ rồi gì đó.
mừng như mẹ thôn có ruộng và
hỏi từ 5 tuổi đấy.
5 tuổi luôn, kiểu ước hôn luôn.
Còn là ra kiểm tra đấy cậu. 18 tuổi rồi.
Không có giấy kiểm tra đấy.
16 tuổi.
Giấy chứng minh có giấy chứng minh rồi đấy.
18 tuổi rồi.
Vừa mới cái 5 tuổi.
Vợ 5 tuổi. Thì ta hồi xưa là kiểu mà người ta trao hôn từ hồi nhỏ luôn, ước hôn đúng không? Đính ước đúng không?
Đính ước cả.
Nhưng mà ông già này thì nuôi từ nhỏ luôn, xong đủ tuổi thì lấy luôn.
Xin chào tất cả các bạn. Sáng nay tụi mình đã đến thăm nhà của Nay Cương rồi, thì chiều nay tụi mình sẽ đến thăm nhà vợ sắp cưới của Nay Cương nha.
Và chủ đề mà khi mà bọn mình đến với nhà gái là sẽ tìm hiểu về những sính lễ cũng như yêu cầu của nhà trai đặt ra khi mà nhà gái đến hỏi cưới, và hãy cùng đón xem nhé.
Tên là Vòng. Đấy thì cùng như là nếu mà nhà trai yêu cầu là quần áo gì đó, quần áo rồi khi là chăn mền, rồi khi là chén đĩa ly này nọ, nếu mà nhà trai yêu cầu thì bên nhà gái phải đáp ứng. Nói chung là cái đó là hồi xưa là như vậy. Còn nay thì có khi là tiền xe thai như cái đấy. nói chung cũng tùy nhà. Kết nợ không lại.
Dạ nên được con.
Dạ là con nó có một
Dạ là con có thật.
Để minh chứng là hai bên là bên trai với gái đó là vợ thành vợ chồng với nhau đó, và hai người đều có mỗi người một cái gắn kết với nhau,
dấu
với nhau.
bắt buộc rồi.
Nhiều nghe ức này
Nhiều mọi nghe tôi là phiền hay lẹ thì không mổ
một
à
say lẹ
hay lẹ cứ thọ ông mổ tưởng là hay là hay mẹ cái dạng nó ta được như này mà.
Nhưng mà bữa nay thì do ảnh hưởng theo đạo, có một số đạo thì họ không dùng chung là rượu nữa, nhưng chung là sẽ cách khác. Còn cúc, nguồn cúc của phong tục tập quán của người Gia hồi xưa là chung là phải có rượu cồn.
What a long trip, right?
Yeah.
But it was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really love the interviews with the tourists from England, Poland, and Germany. Got a chance to learn and understand more about the marriage custom in Europe. About our trip to Yalai, it's the first time I visited the village of Terai ethnic group. That trip left me with a lot of pleasure and unforgettable moments.
Great. Now let's see what we have learned after all. In order to have a fulfilled wedding, we, the king ethnic, must have the engagement ceremony first, and then one wedding ceremony at the bride's house to wish her luck before moving to a new home, new family, new life, and another wedding ceremony at the groom's house to welcome the bride to the family and to introduce her to the ancestor, neighbor, and other relations. But with Terai people, there is no engagement ceremony. With them, the engagement is just a small, simple but cozy meal between two families of the bride and the grooms. Terai's ceremony is like a reverse version of us. The ceremony at the groom's house is to wish him luck before moving to the bride's house, and the bride's ceremony is for welcoming the groom and to introduce the ancestor, also the relations. It is because they are collectivism, but they are feminism. Their society is matriarchy, which means that they emphasize the role of the woman above the role of the man. That's the reason why the groom had to live with the bride. And about the official wedding ceremony, the kin people usually wear the traditional aoyai when performing the ritual in front of the ancestor altar and wear a vest and a long dress when celebrating the party. But with Terai people, they wear their traditional clothes when performing the ritual and when celebrating, but it's like optional for them. They can wear the vest and the long dress. It's just the different in the tradition and also the religion. And how about the worship in the wedding ceremony?
Oh, well, about the worship in the wedding ceremony. In the past, Terai ethnic groups people worship sky god and earth god. Now they worship Jesus. This is similar to our king group's tradition. That's for those who are Catholics. If not, we worship our ancestors. The purpose of worship is to pray the best for the couple. If the couple have different religions, for example, the wife is a Catholic and the husband is a Protestant, each side will hold the wedding ceremony in the wrong way, corresponding to the wrong religion. King people do the same, or in some cases, one will follow the other's religion when they get married.
Wow, how tempting! In the same country, but the culture is already different in different regions. I wonder how different it is in comparison with other countries.
Okay, I will list some interesting facts about marriage custom that we gained from the interviews with foreign tourists. First, about England. In England, the bride has to wear something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. For something old, the bride borrows something from her mother or grandmother. For something new, she buys something like a new dress. For something borrowed, she borrows something such as earrings or necklace. And then for something blue, it's usually a blue garter on the bride's leg. In England tradition, the bride can only wear a new white dress if she's a virgin. No virgin, no white. That means that you can know something when you see the color of the bride's dress. One big tradition before the England wedding ceremony is the hen party and stag party. In the hen party, the bride and her friends, only girls, go out and have a big final drinking session. The stag party is the same as in the hen party, but for men only. On the listed things are not available in Vietnamese wedding tradition.
And about Germany, there is a very interesting and unique marriage tradition in Germany. It's a Porterarm. Porterarm is a German wedding custom in which on the day before the wedding, the guests will come and break the porcelain to bring luck to the couple. They believe that it will bring luck, and the act of cleaning the house together will show the cooperation and the connection between the bride and the groom. It is typical in smaller cities in Germany. The guests usually bring the bowls, the dish to break, but the young generation nowadays can also bring the toilet and the sink to come to break it. Wow, how interesting!
In the last country, Poland. As I see, the marriage tradition in Poland is quite similar to the tradition in Vietnam. For example, about the costumes. The Polish who live in the highland areas wear their traditional colorful clothes. The others wear white long dress for bride and suit for groom as usual. The gifts that the guests bring for the couple used to be the objects like a kettle, lace, or an iron, but money for now.
Wow, I think what makes this difference is the level of indulgence and self-restraint individual and the difference in the culture in general. Every nation has its own custom, culture, and traditions. That therefore they have the different wedding ceremony, wedding custom. Do you think that the whole world should have the same and the only one wedding custom?
No, absolutely not. Each country or even each ethnic group should maintain their unique customs, their tradition if they have their own ones. That's not my own opinion. Many others have the same idea as mine. Our interviewee's opinion are an example.
No, of course not.
I think
I think religion takes care of how you get married. So in an ideal world, yeah, of course you'd want everyone to be the same, but it just wouldn't happen.
Is it beauty in difference like this? Yeah. You got to keep a different cut. If everything will be the same, it will be boring.
How about you guys?
What's your idea? Should the whole world have the same and the only one wedding custom? Comment below what you think.
And don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos.
See ya!